Anyway, let's get to the Guardians here. Here's where things stand.
Let's go.
There are 6 days left in the regular season.
Woo-wee.
The Guardians have 6 games left.
I'm going tonight, by the way.
You are? You
Sarah
decided to
just
go?
texted me.
Nice.
She bought tickets.
Awesome.
Let's go.
Let's
go.
The Guardians obviously have all 6 games at home. They'll play Detroit. They'll play Texas.
Skubal's on the mound,
The
correct?
Guardians control their own destiny for everything. Well, not for everything, but for winning the division and for winning a wild card. If they win all of their last 6 games, they will win the American League Central. There's no doubt about that. Can they do that? We shall see. In the wild card, you see there they're tied with Houston. Now, if the season ended today, the Guardians would have that 3rd wild card because they have the tiebreaker over Houston. In the division standings, if you could bring that up, Anthony, Cleveland is obviously 1 game back of Detroit. The Guardians have the tiebreaker as of now. The only way they would lose that tiebreaker is if the Tigers sweep this series. The Tigers sweep the series, the Tigers will clinch the American League Central. If the Guardians sweep the series, they will not clinch the division, but they'll have a magic number of 1, which means all they would need is 1 win against Texas or 1 Detroit loss. So whichever team wins this series is probably going to win the division. If either team sweeps this series, that team's definitely going to win the division. So that's where the Guardians stand. They've won 16 of their last 18 games. Everything has gone right for them over the last 3 weeks. The Tigers playing poorly, the Rangers playing poorly, the Astros playing poorly, the Red Sox playing poorly. And so a Guardians team that, in July, in June, in August, seemed to have 0 chance of sniffing the playoffs. I thought they were going to finish under 500. Now they're going to be nowhere near that. And at this point, I'd say they looks like they got I think Fangraphs has them with about a 60% chance to make the playoffs. They take care of business here this last week as they have all this month. Then they are stunningly going to the postseason. Nobody could have possibly seen this coming. I know none of you guys are diehard baseball fans, but I know you all pay attention. I know Dustin's locked back in, going to the game tonight. Tyvis, I know you secretly watch a lot of Guardians baseball. What's your take on what's happened here?
It's just been amazing, man.
Yeah.
Just to see the pitching go from what it was, because remember a couple of months ago we were talking about we were mad at the fact that they paid Tanner Bybee, like they extended him, and we was talking about how they're going to lose Gavin Williams because he's not going to sign, and I'm like. Yeah. Well, Tanner Bybee can't complete a game. Every time he's out there, he pitches for a good 3 innings and then he falls apart.
Yeah.
And Gavin Williams will give you 1 game where he's really good, then the next game he's really bad, and then the rest of the rotation was just whatever. Like they were just terrible.
Yeah.
And just lately, man, everybody has that Parker dude has become my favorite out of all of them.
Parker, great name too.
Yeah, that's my guy. Every year I get a guy, and I'm like,
we know you're a big Christmas guy.
Well, that's a given. Everybody should be a big Christmas guy. He took Skubal right over the mound, which Skubal better be on alert because I think Big Christmas hit again tonight. But
I don't think the lineup's out yet, but he'll probably be in the lineup.
Yeah,
yes.
Probably a DH. But all in all, everybody's starting to hit well. You got guys that's hitting home runs, and you're still going Guardians ball where guys is hitting singles, doubles, and triples and things like that. So they're winning in every aspect. Bo Naylor then came alive too. So if they continue to do that and finish this season, it'll be incredible. And I actually can see them being scary going into the postseason. Because my thing was if they make the postseason, it doesn't matter because they're not going to do anything. If they continue to stay hot, and I know they lost the last game to the Twins, but they get back hot again, I wouldn't want to play them.
The Bo Naylor has gotten hot. George Valera has really contributed. They're playing defense well. We are used to, even when the Guardians aren't great in the past, they've always, and when they have won, it's been about pitching, defense, and base running. And none of those things were going well for them for the first 2/3 of the season. It was stunning, especially to see them not run the bases well and not play defense well. That's all turned around here at the end of the season. The defense is back to where it should be. They're playing great in that side of the field. They're running the bases great. Stephen Kwan's got 7 steals this month. And the pitching, as you referenced, the Guardians' starting rotation in the month of September has a 1.50 ERA. The bullpen's been very good. Cade Smith has become a lockdown closer here of late.
The whole team's playing with confidence, and
Yes.
I'm telling you, tonight it's going to feel like a playoff atmosphere.
100%.
Oh, for sure.
The weather's going to clear up. It's going to be like in the 70s and sunny, like at 6 o'clock. So it's going to be nice. It's going to be 20 plus thousand there
I
tonight.
hope so.
I promise you that.
I see 25,000 there tonight.
And I know this much. The players are playing with confidence, man. Like
They are.
The Tigers are not. They're worried about winning this division still.
They're panicking. They're choking.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, tonight the Guardians are going to win.
I feel good.
They're gonna
Listen,
beat Skubal.
if they beat Skubal,
Jose's going to take
it's going to
him
be
yard.
a full panic by the Tigers. I mentioned this to
Take it to
Dustin.
the bank.
Yep.
I mentioned this to Dustin on our podcast.
The yard,
today.
I'm not taking that to the bank.
Oh,
I'm taking
okay.
the win to the bank.
There you go. I mentioned this earlier on the podcast, but for those who don't know, let me tell you this again. No team, the Guardians on September 1st were 10 games out of first place. Okay? 10 games out. In third place on September 1st. No team has ever won a division in the history of baseball being more than 7.5 games out of first on the first day of September. Never. Never more than 7.5. They were 10 out. They haven't won the division yet, but they're right there. G. Bush?
Man,
Your parents must be really excited right now. They love baseball. They love
they're out here moving around.
Yeah.
Listen, they out there jumping around. I told them, don't call me after 7, man. Hey, man, did you see what happened? It was second and third. No, I didn't see that, Dad. I didn't. I was doing the ultimate break. No, I'm playing. Listen, you see me. I told you I had to come in my Guardians gear.
I like that jersey.
Yeah, I had to come with the guard. And the reason I wore the away jersey is because I feel
I
like
love that road jersey.
Yeah,
Classic.
I need them to have the away feel. What I mean by this is Skubal's on the mound. This is it. This is the season. I know we won. What is it? 16 out of 18. Mm-hmm. This is it right here. Because if you win this game, you put yourself in a position where now it's like, oh, we already done seen the best. We saw your best. Now we can get you up off here. Like, we can get you up out of here. And at that point, the collapse is right on the edge of the doorstep for the Tigers. I mean, this is not only
The nail is like halfway banged in the coffin, dude.
Oh,
like
yeah.
you bang it through tonight.
you read these headlines in Detroit. They're going full-blown nuclear at this point.
Yeah.
Anytime you up 14, 15 games, and they done wrote the Guardians off twice. Like, in 2 times
Because
they
they
wrote
were
them
down
off.
15, they cut it down to 6 or
And
7,
then-
and then it was back up to 10.
Now, this is the game. Because, now, I'm not putting no bad mojo out there. But this is what you got aces for. Skubal is supposed to be the guy that stops all that. This is why it's so pivotal, because even if the rest of the team plays poorly, you got an ace stopper that comes in and says, we stop all the nonsense. And then if you lose this game, that puts them down, 2?
Yeah. I think there's way. What do you mean? If the Guardians lose?
If the Guardians lose.
Yeah, they're 2 out. But here's the thing, like, obviously you don't want to lose, and being 2 out is not ideal. But I think this game is way more pressure on the Tigers.
Yes.
Because if even though they're a game ahead, the Guardians are certainly not out of it if they lose tonight. But if they lose with their ace and fully collapse at 1 point 15 game, and at the start of September 10-game lead, and now they've used their ace, they're doing a bullpen game on Thursday.
Yeah,
and we might get rained out tomorrow because it's supposed to be a lot of rain
it's
tomorrow,
raining tomorrow.
which means they'd end up playing a doubleheader Thursday. And the Tigers they're gonna blow out their bullpen on Thursday. So the Tigers have to win. Even though the Guardians are behind, it feels like more of a must-win for the Tigers.
it just feels like
I hope they feel that pressure.
especially the way that, like you said, you explaining how the pitching set up. Because now it's like, when does Skubal get back on the mound? Like, you playing 3-4 games, and then and then your magic number is going down, because now all you got to do is beat Texas a couple times, right? And or the Detroit Tigers could lose games, and then
That's right.
in conjunction with that.
Yeah.
So this is I would like
They really gonna choke this thing.
I want them to be
I
even
also-
Steven.
That is insane.
It is insane.
This would be a hard.
I don't think people realize
That's the part that
the Guardians are going to have the worst offensive team to ever make the playoffs. in terms of batting average, in terms of runs scored.
That's crazy.
What a
Like,
story would be, man,
it's crazy.
if they made a run.
And if they made a run, it would be Bill Nye. Bill Nye, the science guy.
He said
again.
it, right?
He predicted the Guardians to win the World Series at the beginning of the season.
Would you take the Guardians offense or the Browns?
I would take the Guardians because the Guardians at least have a Hall of Famer.
Right,
on
they got
that-
one
on that
guy.
outfit.
They got one guy. You know what I'm
And-
saying?
yeah,
Browns got one guy. Quit.
But
Yeah, but he played 2 games.
yeah. No, listen. Here, we gotta give Steven vote. Y'all gonna give him a
Yeah,
little
no,
credit?
he gets credit. He's got to get credit. Great job.
I mean, this dude had Hollywood scandals. This dude got 2 dudes that's just out of the rotation, and
It's pretty amazing.
They traded away Shane Bieber.
traded Shane. They
Yeah,
traded
they
at the
did.
deadline.
Yeah.
McKenzie, we don't know what's going on with him.
Yeah.
Like they lost. Think about this with the pitching. They lost all their pitchers. That's 4 pitchers we just named between Bieber, McKenzie,
Ortiz, and
and Clase. Right, and they're not scrubs.
No.
And they turned it around and then leaned on pitching.
And Ben Lively, who was their only good pitcher early this season, missed the rest of the year.
And then leaned on pitching
Yeah.
to get them where they is today. That's kind of wild. And to come back from 15 down with no sticks is wild work.
It is crazy. They're just doing. And it's good. Valera is a guy who was a top prospect. Then he was off. Then they essentially cut him. They took him off the 40-man roster. Any team could have picked him up. He's playing great for them. He's kind of solidified that outfield spot a little bit. Obviously, Bo Naylor's picked it up. Arias is playing all
Come
right
on,
here.
Rocchio. We need playoff Rocchio.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Stop right there.
Yeah.
Arias. So if they
Yeah.
make the postseason and he hits home runs, does that still count?
I will count those home runs, okay?
Yes.
We'll count them.
Come on, Guardians.
I mean,
17.
Dustin,
is
you
the
calling
number.
20
I
plus?
need 17 home runs for him. Then I'm on the
No
ultimate
chance that's
Guardian.
happening. What has he got, 10?
I think he got 11.
No.
No,
It's going to
tw-
be great
I'm
when
talking
Austin
about.
Hedges hits the World Series winning home run.
Oh, y'all boys is playing around. 20,000 plus. At the
It's not going
stadium.
to be great if Austin Hedges is playing in the playoffs.
I think north of 22.
22. That's a big crowd.
I mean, you got to honestly. I listened to the fan on the way in, and this morning too, and we're talking about it. We did the podcast, social media, like it's buzzing,
Yeah.
it's building, and people
it.
in this town. I said to you on our show this morning, Adam, it becomes an amazing baseball town real fast.
right.
real
Yeah.
fast.
Like if they we some
People
front
will come
runners.
out the pocket for games like tonight.
We front runners.
Yeah. I mean, you got to for this series.
We front runners.
It's
Yeah.
hard not to though in this economy with baseball,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
it- like you
yeah,
got
I
to
get
respect
it.
the fact that it's hard to go to these games.
Right.
It's not cheap, even though we're one of the cheapest, tickets in the world.
Yeah.
But the point is, it's still not cheap, and I think people do watch. They still pay attention. They're just like kind of like in the shadows, and
Laying
they
in the
come out.
weeds.
And listen, I'm pissed about the payroll, and I'm pissed they didn't spend money on hitting.
Yeah, but if you get
that,
excited
you put
about
that to the
this-
side now. That goes to the side. Right now, you got to
That's
just be
off-season
in the moment.
conversation.
That's an off-season conversation. We thought we wouldn't even be talking about baseball. I didn't think there's any chance we're still talking about baseball this week.
It's amazing.
Yeah,
And now
I remember coming in. The Guardian season is over.
Right.
It's done.
Over.
They're not going to make the playoffs this season. Many times he came here.
And because I hate it, because I love baseball and I love the Guardians.
You're so
and
excited right now.
It's so great that we're getting to watch meaningful baseball. I can't wait.
And by the way,
Yeah.
Guardians got a nice home field advantage.
Oh, our home
Like,
our home field's great.
home cooking, home crowd during the playoffs is different.
Oh yeah.
And by the way, we forget they went to the ALCS last year.
Well,
we ain't forget.
yeah, I mean it was.
That's
I try to forget that
We're,
series.
Think about that.
we're aware. We just don't want to think about who we played against and how that thing went.
right. Like
So, and who they're going to play in the first round? You know what's funny is they could end up playing the Tigers because
Great.
if they win the division,
Bring it on.
and the Tigers end up as the 6th seed, they'll play the Tigers.
Played them last year, right?
Yes.
I went to the game up there in
Yeah,
Detroit.
that's right. So it'll be interesting to see. Enjoy the games tonight. By the way, programming note: right after the game tonight, I will be live on my podcast in the bullpen. I'll send out a link later today. So join me live, post-game reaction, Guardians, Tigers, win or lose. Hopefully win tonight.